I'm Farai Barbie, and welcome to Bad Bitch Bootcamp, where we make basic bitches badder and bad bitches better. Today won't be like any other day. We have a real legend in the building. He needs little to no introduction. First, started with music, then film. Now he has TV network in the chokehold. From the West Coast, the original gangster rapper, he not only brought street life to the music, but also the game. Please allow me to introduce the one and only Ice motherfucking T.
Woo, what an introduction, Barbie. That was cold. Keep talking.
Thank you for being here. Firstly, I just want to congratulate you on your new book.
Thank you. The book's called Split Decision.
Yes, and your story is so inspiring for anybody who comes up in the streets.
Yeah. I worked with Kenny Ivey. He had a deal with Simon & Schuster. This was written between me and my partner, Spike, who was in the streets with me early before I made the decision to get into music and go straight. And I've been doing 24 years on Law and Order. He did 26 years in prison. He had a life sentence.
Wow.
He got out, and we just wrote this book. It's a cautionary tale, and it's a way of telling people that we're all one decision away from something that can change the trajectory of your life. You probably don't know, you make 3,500 decisions a day.
Wow.
My next word out of my mouth is a decision.
Right.
So we constantly are making decisions, and any wrong one can change your life tremendously. So this book is about two people that were headed on the same path, but I ended up coming out okay. He ended up sitting his life in prison. Now he's home.
Wow, that's truly inspiring, like your story. So I have a question.
Come on with it, Barbie. Let's stop playing. Let's go.
So first, out of all the movies that you've ever been in, which one is your favorite?
That's a good question. I have to say, well, I got two. Okay, first, well, really, I had a lot of good ones. But my favorite has to be New Jack City.
Okay.
Because it's very rare that somebody's first movie will be considered a classic. And working with Chris Rock when he was first starting out, Wesley Snipes, that was a scary moment for me because it was when I was doing the original Gangsta album and they wanted me to play the police. And no rapper had really transitioned to acting yet. Will Smith hadn't done it yet. It was just uncharted territory, and I didn't know if I was going to ruin my career, you know.
Right.
But I jumped without a net, and the movie was a success, and that led to other movies and stuff. I had a great time doing Trespass with Ice Cube and Bill Paxton and William Sadler. So I've had a nice film career. I've done some fun movies.
So overall, your favorite was New Jack City?
New Jack, yeah.
Was that hard, coming from being a gangster and then portraying a police officer? Did you struggle like with an identity like issue?
Well,
trying to adapt that character?
Not really, because when you're really in the streets, you got to understand that the higher you move up in crime, the more gangster the cops become.
Right.
And if you ever dealt with DEA or any of them heavy cats, you can't tell that they not gangsters, the way they operate.
Right.
So I think the object with me was it's easy to get a player to act like a cop. It's hard to get a cop to act like a player. So they were more concerned with me when I had to go undercover and take down Nino. Would I have the flavor to convince him I was a player with him? But the dilemma really was my musical audience, would they accept me and stuff. I had no problem playing the cops because I've never disliked the cops. I dislike bullies and I dislike racists.
Right.
So and like I said, when I was a criminal, I always looked at the police as the opponent. I had a mutual respect for them, like, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, you're going to try to catch me, you know, but I never hated them.
Right.
So when I did the movie, it worked. People accepted me as acting, and from that point on, I played cops multiple times. I'm still playing cop on TV right now.
Right.
And I'm as far as you can get from a cop.
Right. But that is inspiring to see that somebody can just do a whole 360 from the life that you grew up with and those troubles that you had, and then change it to just portraying a police officer on TV, which brought you a lot of success.
Well, I think anybody who's been involved in trouble understands the cops. Like, you know, like they ever said, did you do any research? I'm like, yeah, from the back seat.
Right.
You know, and I've been jacked by them so much. I know how they act. But really acting like a cop and acting like a gangster is the exact same acting.
Well, it's a gang, right?
Pretty much, it's a gang. And they have, you know, the way they handle business. And both of them, they want answers or there'll be a consequence. They both have an ego. They both got guns. So sometimes when you see me on Law and Order and I'm asking questions, I don't even look at it like I'm the police. I just look at it like you finna tell me what I want to know. And that energy, people dig it. They like, okay, he looks like he about to smack the shit out of him.
Right.
And but that I'm just relaying that same energy is I want answers. Whether I'm a cop or not, I want the answer. So it works.
So the next question would be, which one of your characters have you played do you feel like you've ever related to in your life?
That's interesting. Which one?
Or have you?
Well, like I said, in Trespass, I played King James.
Okay.
You know, with Cube being the hothead in the gang, and I was the leader of an organization. But I haven't really played anything truly close to me, myself, because I never was the leader of some type of crime mob like that. So I haven't really played something close to me yet. But I understand acting. Acting is just make believe.
Right.
And you know, that's the key to acting. If the next person came over here and I said, pretend you my manager, if you could convince them you're an actress,
Right.
that's acting. Lying convincingly.
Right. So you're friends with Pimp and Ken,
Yes.
the Bishop.
Yes.
Yes. So in your course of the history of the game and in the streets, how did you find balance between transitioning into the corporate world and coming out of?
It was rap music. You know, like, you know, I started off trying to be a DJ. I'm hustling on the side because we were robbing stuff, you know. So I would do that on the week, and then on the weekends I go to the club and pretend like I'm a rapper and do my thing. But when I finally saw a chance to actually do it in real life, I jumped in it because I really knew that my days were numbered in low digits out in the streets. All the people I admired were going to prison.
Yeah.
So if you look around and you're a player and you look at all the people who you look up to and they taking falls, your brain has to say, how long do I think I could survive doing this? It's going to go down. It's eventual. It's inevitable. And I just made that decision. I'm like, I'm going to go rapping. Just like you podcast, whatever, you like, this is what I'm about to do. I'm about to use all my energy and go down this route because I really don't want this other shit.
Yeah.
It has an expiration date. So when I did it, I got the co-sign from all my boys, and they was like, man, go for it, man. You know, even though nobody had made any money in music. Now that I'm in the business, I mean, you know, it's a cutthroat business, so a lot of your street savvy works. You can read people, you can understand the bullshit, you know what's going on ahead of time, and you have ways that you protected yourself in the streets that actually transcend over into the legit business.
Right.
It's helped me, and if you look at people like myself, you look at Jay-Z, you look at 50 Cent, there's a lot of us that learn how to take it from there to somewhere else. And I always tell cats, I say the same initiative you use it in the street, just to stay, not getting caught and all that energy, if you turn it towards something positive, believe it or not, you can be successful.
Right. That's great. So you have a beautiful home here. Do you still do music? Do you happen to have a studio in-house?
I had a studio in my house in LA, and that was a bad mistake. I had the problem with having, well, it wasn't a bad mistake. I had a house in Hollywood Hills. We had the Crack House Studios. And when you have a studio, studios stay operational 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
So what happens is you always have people in your house. Like
Right.
today we got 8 or 10 people in this house. This is a humble house in Jersey because where I work, I work right in Chelsea Piers. So I never really have more than 3 people in my house at a time, maybe 2 couples.
Right.
So it serves the purpose. I've had big houses. I don't need that. I just need a place where I'm comfortable and I got a TV set. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But studios, I own a studio. Me and tch took over ownership of a studio up here in Fort Lee. But I still do music. My metal band Body Count is still active. We recently won a Grammy.
Okay.
And I'm always doing features and stuff like that. People say, Ice, you ever gonna do another rap album? I don't know. But yeah, I still do music. I say I act for the money. I do music to remain sane.
Yeah. I think the streets need it.
Mine is post-prison rap. You know, if you've never been to jail, you might think I'm old and I'm not making no sense.
Right.
But if you've been through it, you'll listen to me. You'll say Ice is telling the truth.
So do you think that there What do you think about gangster rap these days? Is it
Well, I don't
still
even think it's
alive?
called gangster rap. I think it's called drill.
Right.
It's different. It's different. You got to remember, like when we came out, it had never been done. So it was a bunch of young cats, myself, Scarface, all of us, and we were yelling, not only just being tough, but we were just trying to say, if you don't want to give us our rights, we're gonna take them.
Right.
And I think that attitude was necessary with Public Enemy and Wu-Tang Clan. We needed that energy. There's a lot of things that go on in the new music that don't really make sense to me as far as, the social media aspect of it and telling on yourself and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
I think it needs to just be ratcheted back in a little bit because self-incriminating people and putting yourself in jail and all the murders and stuff. Because you got to remember, back in our day, we lost two people. We lost Pac and Biggie.
Right.
And we also lost Big L. But I think the hip hop got the message and the extreme violence kind of got curtailed. But now it's at an alarming rate. It's like you're hearing a rapper gets killed every week, and nobody wants that.
Right. And some of them aren't even real gangsters. They're just playing with the words. Same
True.
thing like in the streets these days, in my opinion, from where I come from.
Right.
Like the hustling with, girls and stuff, like coming from pimping, that's where I come from. Hustling as a hoe and seeing the way the game has changed these days where these guys are popping, they're pimping, but they're not about shit. The same thing about the rap music. These guys are rapping about all this gangster shit, but they're not with none of that shit.
No, because it's virtual. Because, on the internet, you can be anything.
Right.
Out in the actual streets, you have to be about it. You can't fake it. You're not behind the screen. You have to actually be there. I have to be face to face with you. So it's a whole nother world. And when you're dealing with social media, anybody can be anything. Anybody can say anything, and no one's held accountable.
Yeah.
So we're in a different world right now, and you just have to really accept and understand that. Nothing is ever going to be like it used to be. Every year it evolves and it goes through different transitions. But, I just think hip hop as a whole is growing, and it'll keep morphing. It'll morph into things that you like. It'll morph into things we don't like. I think the culture itself will always live and it'll thrive. There's things as an OG that I see that I don't really like. I don't want kids out here killing themselves on drugs.
Yeah.
I don't want kids out here wilding, killing, and shooting at each other. You know what I'm saying? We can rap about it, but actually doing it, it disturbs me. I'm like, come on, man, what are you doing, man? Like, you got the money, and now you still taking these risks. I don't get it. Once I got a chance to get out of the game, I cut off all illegal activities.
Right.
All of it. It's over. It's over. And, I live to tell about it. So take notes.
Yeah, for real. So we know that you've always been super fly with your hair, look the most luxurious. You've kept a bad bitch on your side. This is my favorite segment of my show.
Let's
Real
go.
hoes want real answers.
Right, let's go.
So you were always popping the ism in the game, and you kept a bad bitch on your side currently to this day. And we always in the game, in my opinion, all the girls around me, we looked at you and Coco like those in my generation, like, and I've recently, did some research about Darlene, but as far as Coco, we were looking at you like that's a bad white bitch with a real motherfucker, and they made it, and that was like such like inspiring thing to look at, as just observing it from the outside looking in. But would you consider yourself more pimpish or mackish?
Oh shit, much more Mackish, you know what I'm saying? I just think, the thing of it is that I've always been the kind of cat, I made a lot of money with women hustling. You know what I'm saying? As far as sending chicks like that, tried it, was definitely difficult on my end, But I was more of a cat that rolled with a bunch of thoroughbred chicks that would basically do whatever had to do to get paid.
Right.
So they was more like my partners than my hoes. You understand? Okay. So and they know who they are. A lot of their names I learned not to say because they like, I'm a church woman now. Don't bring my name up. I had a problem with one of my buddy's mothers because I said something, so I won't say their names.
Yeah.
But I've always been fascinated with the power women have and how they can be used in the game and they can be partners in the game and we could be together. But after I got out of the game, I wanted a relationship. I'm not a guy that likes, because, you know, having sex and stuff like that is more of an ego thing. And at the end of the day, I can't say it any other way, but pussy's pussy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's more the ego, it's more the challenge, it's this, that, and the third. And like my buddy told me, he said, Ice, you didn't have more pussy than football team. Like, what are you really trying to accomplish out here? So then Kenny Ivey hit me with the realism. He said, man, you know, when I first got with Coco, he said, man, yeah, one down bitch is worth 10 funky hoes, man.
100%.
You know, so finding a down woman was what I wanted. And I remember when I first got with Coco, I seen Bishop Juan down in Miami, and I said, hey, I'm really feeling this chick. Now, see, as a player, what players always want you to do is be honest about how you feel.
Yeah.
You know, if this particular chick ain't nothing to you, then that's how you handle it. But if this is your baby mama or something, you just make that clear. Ain't no, and motherfuckers will respect that. But you got to say, I love her.
Yeah.
This ain't just some chick to me. Okay, God, we got you, player. Cool. Niggas ain't gonna try to push up on it, but you know, a lot of cats don't understand that. Just say how you really feel. Don't fuck around and get mad somebody knocked her because you didn't really represent. So I told Bishop, I said, man, I'm really feeling it. He said, you feeling it? And then he came out, he looked at it, he said, put a ring on that player.
Right.
So when the pimp says put a ring on it, he was like, I was like, okay. The bishop. So I was like, okay, cool. So, you know, as we evolved as a relationship, now here's something funny. I was fascinated with Sharon Osbourne.
Okay.
You know Sharon Osbourne?
Yes.
So Ozzy Osbourne has wife, and she's running his business, his tours, and everything. He got a big mansion, and I'm like, would Ozzy have a house if it wasn't for Sharon Osbourne?
Right.
We all know how Ozzy is, right?
Right.
And I was like, that's what I need. I need somebody that can hold this thing together, because I'm an artist. I can go out here and get money, but dotting the I's and crossing the T's is not something I do. But women do that well.
Right.
Y'all are organizers. Y'all basically can put shit in pocket together.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, cool. This is what I want. And when I met her, I said, I don't really want no other phone number. I don't need a new phone number. I'm really trying to find somebody that we could do it. And she was at that point in her life where she was like, well, shit, you seem, you know, there's a saying, they say, when a woman meets the right man, it's the right time. When a man hits the right time, he'll be ready for the right woman. So a lot of times women are dealing with guys in their 20s and 30s, they're no good.
Yeah.
They're no good. They're no good because we mature after you. Like,
right.
You're a beautiful woman, so life opened for you when you were 16.
Right.
You got in the clubs, you got everything.
15.
15, blah, blah, blah. Okay, right?
Right.
A nigga, he can't get in till he's 30. I didn't get in the Benz, so I bought one.
Right.
You feel me? You laughing, right?
Because I had a couple bought for me.
This is my point. When you see that yacht and all the bikinis laying on the boat, them girls don't own the yacht. They get on there because they're beauty.
Right.
Guys, can I get on that yacht? Hell no, nigga. You can't get on there with all them girls, you know. So we have to achieve a certain level to where you even entered into life. So when a man hits 25, 26, he finally getting his bag, his life starts. Y'all done. You're slowing down at 27. You starting to look at 30 like, I got to figure something out. Right? So that's why it's off balance and stuff. So, you know, when I got with Coco, I was just like done. I was like 42 years old. And I've been with Darlene, I've been with my son's mom 15 years, but we never got married.
Yeah.
So, and the only reason we didn't get married because I wasn't at that time yet. But when I got with her, I was ready. I'm like, I'm done. And we got together, and I basically taught her how to maximize what she was doing. She was modeling, she was doing swimsuit modeling and all that kind of stuff. And I taught her, I said, look, there's a way that you can really maximize this. You want to know how she did it?
Yeah.
I said, you're a model, you taking pictures with these people, but they own the pictures. Forget that. Hire the photographer and take the pictures, and you own the pictures.
Right.
And then that way you can control your image. because as a model, if you just taking pictures and getting paid $1,000, they can throw them shits on phone sex ads. They can throw them
Right.
all, right? But as a musician, I don't let you hear every song I make. I wait till I'm ready and you finally hear it. So there might be 20 renditions of that song, but you only see one. Just like I could do a photo shoot and there could be 100 pictures, but you say, here's 10 I want out. So by controlling that, she was able to control her image.
Right.
And then by putting a limit on it, like how far you want to go. Coco's on OnlyFans, but if you go on OnlyFans to see her, it's Playboy.
Right.
She ain't doing the wild shit.
Right.
She set her limit as a woman. This is what I do. And she making a lot of money because that's what they expect out of her. If you want to stick a refrigerator up your pussy, well then therefore that's what they gonna want.
Right.
So you have to set your goals. And the guys that like that like it, guys that don't. But she's just doing the same shit she been doing. It's kind of like control what you do. And then with all that other stuff that came along, running my tours, helping me on Law and Order, all that kind of stuff, it just fell in place. And it's funny, when we first got together and I knew it was serious, I just handed her my phone. I said, yo, we been to do this? She said, yeah, we mean you gonna do this? Yeah, here. And then, so she would answer the phone, and any females that would call, she said, hi, this is Coco. They go, oh, okay.
Right.
Wow. Because I wasn't in any relationship with anybody that was weighing heavy enough that would be a problem.
Right.
And that's how I cleaned out the situation. And then we've been down now 22 years, got a beautiful daughter, and Coco likes iced tea. And when she met me, I had on a red snakeskin suit.
Okay.
So she
like a player.
Yeah, she dug that. And I like her.
Right.
See? So you looking very sexy and attractive, but if I met you like this, then I like that. So you got to find somebody who really likes you the way you like to be.
Right.
And last but not least, you need to match energy with your mate. If I have a lot of energy, if I walk in the room and I spin the room, your girl got to spin the room too.
Right.
Or else you're intimidated by me. Why you got to sign autographs? It's bothering you. Or you spinning, why you got to wear that? You know. But if both people got the energy, then it's cool.
Yeah.
Because we're not intimidated by either of us. We both fly, and we know it, and we fly together.
Yeah. Yep. And I think you were the original Gangsta of my bitch bad.
Yeah.
And like super cool and all that, because dudes are not, they're pressed. They don't let their bitch be bad. They're jealous. They're intimidated by their bitch.
They're intimidated.
But it's like, you want her to be bad and go out there and be the baddest bitch ever.
A lot of guys are insecure. I just never felt like that. You know, I never felt like that. Like, my motto was, like, Ferrari, well, you don't buy a Ferrari and drive it with the car cover on it.
Right. 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 You want to show that bitch off.
That's why you bought a Ferrari, you know? So it's kind of like, you know, but there's certain guys and there's different kinds of cats, you know, for everybody. There's guys that are more like, you know, I want you to stay in the house. So you got to, I found out that guys that, speaking on Ferraris, guys that like sports cars want sports women. They want sporty girls. That's part of their, but a guy that wants, if you meet a guy that wants to ride Jeeps and trucks and shit, then he might want you in boots and shit.
Right.
If you meet a guy that's from the farm, he wants you in cowboy boots. So every man's image of their female usually matches who they are inside.
Right.
So that was always me. Early when we had Darlene posing with the, you know, with the shotguns and with like one of the early covers with her in the Porsche, that might have been one of the earliest covers of a girl in a car type situation.
The original bad bitch.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was before bodies were bodying. She was killing shit.
It's just, I don't know. It happens to be what you like.
Right.
It's what you like. I'm the kind of guy that I like that. If I go out with you, I want you to spin the room. I'm going to spin it my damn self too, but you do it.
Yeah, that's one thing I've admired about your guys' relationship as well. Like, you've always just like lit each other up. And in the game, we looked at it like, damn, those are goals, whether that was the case or not.
Yeah, yeah. You know, but, you know, you get your bag together and in a relationship now, it's more like it's a business partnership, you know. And, you know, it could go left at any moment, but hopefully, you know, you pray and hope it don't. You want to keep it together. So we've been very fortunate. You know, but relationships are like plants, though. You got to keep checking them. You got to check every once in a while. You good?
Yeah.
Because here's the trick: you're human, so you change, and I change.
Right.
So whatever you are at 25, at 30, you might be a totally different woman. You could totally wake up one morning and go, you know what? I'm not who I thought I was, and change. And so could the guy. So it's a difficult thing keeping two humans in sync.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. This was the best. A lot of game from the OG. We really appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank
This
you
was
for
fun.
having me.
This is cool. This is cool. And and let me do a shameless post.
Yes, please.
This is the book, Split Decision, and you know, it's a cautionary tale. It's about me changing my life and my partner deciding to do one last lick and ended up catching a life sentence. And also, I have this new thing. I have a podcast called Ice-T's Daily Game.
Okay.
Where you can every day you go in and there's a little, you know, a jewel, as we say in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So one down bitch is worth 10 funky hoes.
Hell yeah.
That's a daily game.
I like that shit.
So,
I like that shit.
Yeah, but it's true. You know, the question is, how down is she?
Right. Right. Well, that's why you got to ride it out and see.
Yeah, you got to ride it out and see.
Yes. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I
It's a
appreciate
pleasure.
it.